Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a flash U.S. news update. Today's date, September 23, 2024, time about 3 p.m. in Texas. So we've had updated information about Helene, the hurricane, predicted to come in, make landfall in Florida and adjacent states Thursday at 8 a.m. The Category 2 is now being put at a 4, possibly a 3. Ryan Hall Y'all had come out a few minutes ago with a model showing a possibility of the millibar pressure dipping to 908, producing a Category 4 storm. Category 4 would have winds of 130 to 156 miles per hour. AccuWeather is now predicting a Category 3 that would produce winds of 111 to 129. The Gulf of Mexico states, particularly Florida and adjacent states, will begin to feel hurricane force winds at 8 p.m. Wednesday. So that is a big redirect on going from a possible Cat 2 to now a Cat 4 or a Cat 3. So we pray for the people in Florida and adjacent states. Heads up today. We have this from Dabu77. The SEC apparently made a slip in some information they put out and immediately took it down, predicting a possible stock market crash and restructuring of big banks. And now we have this. We have USA Today. The Pentagon today is going to be sending additional U.S. military to the Middle East. Currently, we have in the Middle East 40,000 U.S. military. The additional number to be sent today was not put forth by the U.S. military for security reasons. We have Zelensky and the U.S. Engaging with J.D. Vance, President Trump's vice president position, and Z snaps at J.D. Vance. Now, both Zelensky and Netanyahu have been told in phone calls by President Trump, wrap what you're doing in Israel and in Ukraine, wrap it up by December. Because after that, no more money or weapons to Israel or Ukraine. And we have Zelensky now in the U.S. stumping for okay for the U.S. and UK to okay Zelensky from Ukraine using long-range weapons to strike deep in Russia. And recall, we had that recent information put out by House Representative Republican Florida Matt Gaetz that he had been advised by top-level Homeland Security that there are 5 sniper teams in the U.S. currently after President Trump. 2 domestic, 1 from Iran, 1 from Ukraine, and 1 from Pakistan. Now, this sniper team intent on taking out President Trump from Ukraine, I submit Zelensky ordered or has knowledge of, and it's being put forth by military analysts that Ukraine, Zelensky wants to take President Trump out because they believe Dems would continue the war. So, that's going on. Now we have this. Coming out from Burning Platform. Recently, there was a meeting of U.S. Secretary of Defense Austin at Ramstein military base in Germany, where Zelensky was asking for an okay for the UK and U.S. to use long-range weapons from Ukraine into Russia. Now, Russia's already said if that happens, Russia will consider UK and US as direct participants, and that it's a possibility that Russia would launch bombs on UK and inside the US in retaliation. Zelensky knows this, but it's now coming out that Secretary of Defense Austin, at this recent meeting at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany, would not okay the use of U.S. long-range missiles and said Ukraine has its own weapons capable of attacking targets well beyond the range of the British Storm Shadow cruise missile. So we see Zelensky, a deep state puppet, trying to push the US and UK into a direct war with Russia, while the US Secretary of Defense is stating publicly that Ukraine has its own weapons fully capable of being fired deep into Russia beyond the range of the British Storm Shadow. This concludes my flash. It's good to be in prayer for people in Florida and adjacent U.S. states in anticipation of a very strong hurricane. I can sympathize with that after going through Beryl in July and being without electricity for 10 days. It does increase your depth of understanding of the words dehydration and mortality. And it's good to pray also for world peace and for protection of President Trump and J.D. Vance. I love you, and I'll see you soon.